Hello everyone, welcome to Backend Connect the Dots channel. And today I would like to introduce to the MuleSoft and I would like to explain what is MuleSoft and how it is used. So what is MuleSoft? It is actually an integration and API management platform which helps to connect the different systems and manage APIs to ensure the data exchange between the systems happening smoothly. So it also helps in the connecting the apps, data, and devices also, like in whether it's a mobile application or a database or a smart device, MuleSoft acts as a bridge to connect them. So enables and it also enables like in digital transformation also, like, and it helps the business to modernize by integrating the legacy systems with the modern apps and the services. And now the MuleSoft was acquired by the Salesforce in 2018. MuleSoft, how it is used and why to use MuleSoft? Like in the real world scenario, there are like an system that doesn't talk to each other. There is a discommunication between the systems. So MuleSoft allows to come talk to the system with the breaking down the information barriers, like in whenever you want to connect one system of your organization talk to the other system of the organization, it helps us to design the application with the MuleSoft which communicates between two the systems. For example, your organization has one front end system and it wants the front end is exposing some APIs and you want to get the data from the front end. We want to manage the data and put it into our backend database, like in Oracle database or else whatever the cloud you want to use, like in Salesforce or anything. The MuleSoft acts as a middleware to communicate between the two systems, and it is like, and you can put the business logic, whatever you needs to be happen before the we need to save it into the database. And it MuleSoft actually suggests like a use of the API-led connectivity. I can explain you what is the API-led connectivity in the next coming slides. So what is meant by and how it is maintained by the API-led connectivity. And the MuleSoft is very easy to start, like, and it is a very fast development thing, like, and you can drag and drop the tools and reusable components and like, and which helps us to create the applications very fastly and when compared to the open sources like Java and creating those same things in the other open source application. It also supports like in cloud and on-prem systems also. If you want to deploy your application, the MuleSoft application, it has its own called Cloud Hub, and if you want to host it on your own servers like in on-prem, or you can use your own cloud like in AWS and deploy the applications over there. In this slide, we will talk about like an Anypoint platform. Basically, the MuleSoft is actually as I mentioned, it's an actually integration tool. So it also gives us like an integration tools like in to design the application, to manage the application, to monitor the application. It already gives you like an pre-built tools to use it. It also like an there are some uh, things like an API designer, which it's in the Anypoint platform. Anypoint platform is nothing but this is Anypoint platform. You can go to the anypoint.mulesoft.com and you can register for a free account. You can see all these components like in Design Center, Exchange, API Manager, Runtime, and the monitoring. And these are all the things you will be seeing in this design center. What basically I will create a videos deep diving into each of this component and how it is used and how it will be used in creating the applications and deploying the applications and maintaining them. I'll create it individually. So these are the API designer, API manager, studio, and Anypoint Studio is actually an IDE for your API MuleSoft API creation. So that also it's based on based on develop on top of the Eclipse. So it's basically it's a drag and drop uh, code builder studio over there, and I will explain each of them separately. To start developing and to start learn the MuleSoft, I would like to uh, discuss few main components of the MuleSoft. Okay, uh, these are the main things which helps us to understand initially to start into the MuleSoft. So one is Anypoint Studio. Anypoint Studio is nothing but like an IDE tool, as I mentioned in the previously. So it is helps us to create like an applications or the flows which you want to create it with the Anypoint Studio, which is can be downloaded by the in the you can go to the Google and say like download Anypoint Studio. You can download that IDE. It's based on, as I mentioned, it is built on top of Eclipse. So if you have like a similar experience using the Eclipse, it's similar kind of thing, but there is an additional features like an Anypoint template palette, MuleSoft palette where you can drag and drop the custom connectors or components like in Salesforce connector and HTTP. Those are the things you have some change on that. I'll explain you like an on while starting the development. Coming to the Mule runtime engine, it's basically MuleSoft Mule runtime. You call it as like an it's a lightweight. It is based on the it was developed on the Java. For your information, the Mule if you want to run your Mule application on your local, you have to already have the Java installed on your machine. So whenever you build an application or you want to test the application, the Mule runtime engine is very useful. When you deploy the application in the Cloud Hub or on-prem, also the Mule runtime engine is used to run or compile your application. Coming to the API designer, as I mentioned, like in previously, like and I have shown you like an API Anypoint Studio or Anypoint platform, right? The API designer. This is a, like enough in the design center. If you go to the Anypoint Studio and platform and go to the design center, we will be giving like uh, what are the specifications you want to give you to your application. So here, if you see, go to the design center. This is the this is one of the application test application I want to create. You can see like there is an in the design center we want to specify like and what is our application name, what is the security thing we want to add it to our application, and what are the endpoints for your REST API. For example, this is a REST API I'm creating with the use of the MuleSoft. So you can see like in how to, this is written in the RAML. So here we'll be defining our specification of our application, like in hull, this is the endpoint and what is the REST method we want to use it, like in whether it's a get, post or anything. So we can by using the design center, by using the RAML language, you can create this API specification and publish it to the exchange. Here you can see like in what are the how what are the endpoints you have created. You can see visually over here. This helps you in the kind of documentation, and this can be also seen on the Anypoint exchange. Once you publish it, you will be seeing your application over here. If anyone wants to consume your application, here is the application um, API specification. You can share this documentation with them, like in business or anyone. They can use this specification and create to communicate with your application. And API manager is also one of the main important uh, main important component in your application. So what helps is this is like an API manager where you create a register your application and create the policies of your application, like and you want to what are the security layer you want to create and who you want to give the access to the application. So here is the any API manager. You will be managing your applications, like and you can monitor like and what is the how what is the incoming traffic to your applications, how many requests are coming in, what are the, it's a API manager, you can see that and you can manage the policies on the API manager. And DataWeave is actually a MuleSoft language which helps us to transform the data between like, and you want, if you want to convert the data from JSON to the XML, or because one system might be talking in a different language and the other system you want to target system, and target system is was expecting in a different kind of language. DataWeave is a language which helps us to convert those um, um, convert the language with whatever the target system is expecting, and it also helps us to uh, put the business logic. Also, you can write some business logic on the DataWeave also. I'll explain you later. In this slide, I would like to talk about what is API-led connectivity and why it is used in the MuleSoft integration development. So API-led connectivity is nothing but it's kind of a if you have a background experience like in microservice, this is the kind of same scenario like in microservice architecture. So what happens is it's very easy to maintain and it is very useful to communicate like in between the systems. So the mainly the API-led connectivity was divided into three layers. One is the experience layer, process layer, and the system layer. Coming to the experience layers are nothing but the APIs when you create it on the experience level, which helps to directly connect your sources. Like, and if you have a mobile app, you create a one application for that mobile app within the Mule, saying like in mobile app application. If you want to create an another web application, that is an another web application created on the experience layer. The experience layer is just nothing but a point of contact to your source systems, which directly communicate with your experience layers. So APIs are nothing but mainly the business logic, the core business logic. You want to put it in the common business logic along across the business, so you put it in the process APIs level. And the system layers are nothing but which are connected to the target systems. Uh, so whatever the target system, like, and if you have a Salesforce, you will create one system layer for connecting to the Salesforce. And if you have a, like an if you see in this diagram, there is a UPS shipment API, which you are connecting to the UPS API, so that we'll create one system API for them. The main, you can treat it as like an experiences for just point of contact to your application, and process layers are nothing but the business logic, and the system layers are connected to the uh, databases like ERPs and everything like in whatever the target system. This slide, I would like to talk about like and what is the benefits of MuleSoft, why it is like an different from the open source development, and why it is very useful. The main thing of the MuleSoft is like it is very easy to create the applications in the MuleSoft, like, and it has like all the connectors, reusable connectors, drag and drop interfaces. Like in the Anypoint Studio, you can drag and drop like an HTTP connector, and you just mention that what are the um, what are the API you want to connect, and what is the method, and what is the authentication, and you can directly do like a no boilerplate code need to be written. The drag and drop will be creating like in backend the connection and everything. You just need to concentrate on the business logic what you want to implement on your application. Um, and it is very the APIs are very reusable across the project, like in across the teams. Like and you can scale the applications on the cloud, like and very easily. Like and if you want to increase the size of the application and you want to increase the memory of your application, you can use it in the cloud hub and directly increase the vcores and the uh, worker sizes in the cloud hub. And the security wise also, the creating like an security to your applications, it is very useful, it is very easy when compared to the other things like an open sources. You can directly go to the Anypoint API manager, Anypoint platform, and Anypoint manager. There you can choose like what is the what is the security layer you want to put it on your application, and whoever wants to access your application. You can give the specific role specific access to your applications. And the MuleSoft also helps two kind of deployments. Like one is Cloud Hub and on-prem. Cloud Hub is nothing but it's created by the MuleSoft of the on cloud deployments. Like it will be made the MuleSoft will handling everything like creating the instance on the server and everything. It has like a different on-prem also. You can deploy your applications on the on-prem also, like if you have your own servers set up, you can deploy your applications on your on-prem also. In this final, I would like to conclude why MuleSoft is helpful, and it is how why we would like to learn the MuleSoft. It's a strong API management. Unlike the other many competitors, MuleSoft includes like an robust API governance tools, um, hybrid deployment options. You can deploy, as I mentioned, on the cloud hub, on-prem, or hybrid. And it's developer friendly. And with the Anypoint Studio, you can create the applications very fastly and more easily. There is no much code needed, coding experience needed to create the applications. You just need, if you have like if you have an understanding what you want to do it, it's more of like a drag and drop, and mainly on the business logic. Like some 20 to 30% of object-oriented language knowledge is required, like in creating an object and how we are transforming the data between the objects, and that is needed. And used by the many companies like in MuleSoft, like in Spotify, Universal, like in many, like in AT&T. Everyone uses the MuleSoft nowadays. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.